My first impression of Doc was that he was extremely talented, but it was also obvious really quickly that there was something else going on beyond just being a musician.
He just gave off this really great energy that was very welcoming and open.
The first time I saw Doc, I was standing behind the bar. It was in the afternoon. And I saw him walk in, and I think he had some boots on and maybe a coat. He might have had his Stetson hat on that day. Didn't look too flashy or anything, just a normal kind of guy.
We both had this love of jazz, but we were also classically trained. We hit it off right away and haven't stopped playing together since. That's 20 years now, more than 20 years.
Entrepreneurial, creative, daring, finding new ways to do things, figuring stuff out. That's been a hallmark of everything that he's done since then.
Over the next few years of working with him at Bohannon's, he would say things like, "I'm gonna have a jazz club one day." And I'd look back at him and be like, "Yeah, right." 10 years later, he calls me, opening up a jazz club. He's like, "I told you back then that I wanted you to be my bar guy and that I was gonna open a jazz club." And I said, "Well, sorry, but I doubted you heavily." He says, "Graham, I'm gonna open a jazz club." And I'm like, "That's the craziest thing you've told me yet. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that, you'll lose your shirt." And here we are. Jazz Texas is a wild success.
Well, you've heard about love and giving sight to the blind. My baby's loving cause the sun do shine. She my sweet little thing. She my pride and joy. She my sweet little baby. I'm her little lover boy. Well, love my baby.
Jazz Texas is class meets grit, and that's a pretty good definition of Doc as a person as well.
Jazz Texas is a place that people come to celebrate and leave their problems at the door and really just, let loose and have a great time.
Jazz Texas is, it's my life. It's a family affair. We've seen many families grow, and we've had babies come and go, and young people get older while you're here.
One of the distinctions is that the emphasis on the relationship between the musicians and the audience is one that is much more intimate than you would expect.
It's the people, it's the staff, it's the music, it's the ambiance. All of it put together is really what people come here for, and it's what makes us stand out from a lot of other places.
Second that we stepped into the Tower Theater, walked under the marquee, walked in the front door, the space opened up and expanded. I just, internally or inside, my jaw just dropped.
The dream of having at least two places is well over 10 years old. And to see it finally come into fruition is absolutely amazing. It's hard to fathom that it's here and it's happening.
Doc's Houston is the logical progression and sort of upscaling of Jazz Texas. It's about 3 times as big, so it's really a big club for a big city.
I would say Doc's is an extension of Jazz Texas, and that's our goal, is to just spread this good vibes around jazz.
My hope for Doc's Montrose is that we can bring an experience to Houston that they didn't know that they were missing. And I hope that we can bring that value, that joy that we bring to people at Jazz Texas, that we can do the same thing at Doc's Montrose, just make it Montrose.